If she had only been ugly, we would still
Jeff Ross. We have
No,
Jeff
it's
Ross.
a Gaddafi. Look at him.
Jeff Ross. I don't think you knew it was on camera, did you?
Thank you.
didn't
Thank
care.
you for dressing up. Really, we appreciate it.
Your hair's
You know.
good, Jeff. I got to tell you, you were in what's called the sweet spot, because our show before you, we had David Feldman.
Where's he going?
We have David Feldman. So I'm telling you, all you got to do is, you don't even have to bring it to follow that.
Why can't we just do
I'm
our
kidding,
show
David's
for you
still
for
here.
5 minutes? Feldman, just for a laugh track. You're the best audience ever.
We fill that in. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great. Thank
Good.
you for having me on your show, you guys.
Well, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you for
and-
dressing up. Really, we appreciate it.
It's like still summer. It's the last day of summer. I'm trying to hold on
Is it
to
the 21st?
I think it is.
It is 21st tomorrow.
It's the last day of summer.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, check it out. Look, the sun is out. It's beautiful here in the
Look
Laugh
out.
Factory.
You're a good actor.
There's fucking pussy everywhere,
Hey,
and you
hey,
guys want to
we
do
don't
an empty
swear in
comedy
the
club.
show. We don't swear.
Why
on
don't
the
you do
show.
this at the beach? Dom, we could be at Katana right now doing this.
I will
One
be.
of your spots.
I know.
If
You're
anyone
right.
would ever want to assassinate Dom Irrera, there's 3 places. It would take 10 minutes. to find it.
What's it? I know here, Laugh Factory, Katana, and where else?
And
Comedy Store.
Frankie's.
no, there's this bar in Kilkenny that he likes to hang out at.
Oh.
Oh,
uh,
Jones. What about Jones? You go to
Jones.
Jones a
What-
lot.
what's the place in Kilkenny? Langton's.
Yeah. I got my leather jacket stolen from there one time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
They stole in Ireland?
They stole my leather jacket. Maybe a comedian stole it. I don't know.
Probably an American or some Aussie. Jeff, things I don't know about you. First of all, where are you from?
Newark, New Jersey.
You're not from Newark.
Yeah, I was born in Newark.
But a town outside of Newark you lived.
No, I lived in Newark for the first chunk of my life.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to college in Boston,
Where?
Boston University.
Did you really?
Yeah.
See,
What did
all the
you
times
study?
we've known each other, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
What
good
did you
school.
study?
Broadcasting and film and a minor in political science.
So you thought you have a chance to become a president or something?
No, but maybe talk about politics or make art about social issues, which I do.
Did you
I
do
think.
theater before stand-up?
No,
Or just
no. I was into I was a DJ on my college radio station. I
Oh,
was
yeah?
a music director of my college radio station. I really wanted to be in the music business.
you know a lot about rock music?
I used to. I sort of lost a lot
What's your
of it.
favorite group?
I went to 2 concerts last weekend. So I
Who'd you go see?
I saw Fiona Apple at the Greek Theater, and I
How
saw
was that?
it was
Prince.
amazing. She was great. I love Prince, but no, I saw a DJ named Pretty Lights down at the Shrine Auditorium.
I sang last night on stage with a terrific band, and we sang "I've Just Seen a Face."
Yeah,
You know that song?
yeah,
It was so fun.
that's a good song.
It's like a fantasy.
How's your voice?
He have a good voice.
I could sing.
He
I mean, I
does
used to
have a-
sing in children's theater, and I sang. I was a rabbi in Fiddler on the Roof in college.
Oh my goodness, I would do anything to see you play that part.
Can you imagine me, a 19-year-old Italian
Do
kid?
it.
I see you
Do
doing that
it.
part one day now.
May God bless and keep the czar far away from us. Forget about it.
No, do some of your parts. Do some of your parts.
I just did. That was
That's
one of the
it?
rabbi's lines.
That's the only line you had?
No, I had a few lines, but I was in the
You
chorus.
love me.
Do I love you? Do I what?
Keep going. That was
what's the
beautiful.
no, the one I like is, may the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. May he come to be in Israel a shining name. Then the harmony comes. May God bless you and grant you long life. Beautiful.
You could totally play Tevye. I could see it in a minute.
I'm not tall enough for Tevye.
What tall? Well, you don't have to be tall.
Am I
Tevye,
fat? Am I fat enough?
you don't have
I
to be
think
fat
you're-
either. You just have to be Papa.
No, but he.
Papas, the papas.
Right.
Tradition. Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers. Who has the right as master of the house to have the final word at home. The papas, the papas. Tradition. And who does mama send?
Dun, 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 dun.
I like those songs better than the ones that became the hits, which was if I were a rich man. Sunrise, sunset's beautiful.
Sunset.
That's very
Can't go
sad.
to a wedding without hearing that song.
Absolutely. Yes,
Sunrise. That's a hard one.
Yeah,
So-
but it's so beautiful and it's so sad because it's the end of childhood and birth to death and there's
Swiftly go the years.
one season following another, laden with happiness and tears.
That's a tough one. My favorite
Anna
line in
Tefka's
that.
tough. When they get thrown out.
Anna Tefka. You don't know
Anna
these?
Tefka tumbled
I don't
down,
know
but
any
the
of them.
band.
Anna Tefka.
I'm what are tone deaf.
Really?
Yeah.
But the movies are great and the
The
play is
movies,
amazing.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
My
the
favorite
best.
line in the whole play is even a poor tailor deserves some happiness. You know that one?
Yeah, of course. I know the whole score, the whole script.
Do some more.
That's the
story.
best part in the play, the tailor.
A blessing on your head, mazel
Mazel
tov,
tov,
mazel
mazel
tov.
tov.
Like Grandma Zeidel said, mazel
Mazel
tov,
tov,
mazel
mazel
tov. And such a son-in-law like no one ever saw. The tailor Mother
Mazel tov,
Chems oil. He was a butcher. The tailor Mother Chems oil.
You're great at this.
A worthy boy is he. I know the whole score.
He's the
For
best.
such a family, mazel tov.
You know who
mazel
else
tov.
you could play is the butcher. You could play that part, I bet.
What was the butcher's name? Was Laser Wolf?
Laser Wolf. The guy who goes in, he's a widower.
Yeah, yeah.
He tries to get Tevye's daughter to marry him.
That's when they were still arranging marriages. Jamie was telling us that his parents were an arranged marriage.
He knows. We talked about it.
Yeah, we've had good talks about that. It's hard to imagine that happening.
It is
now.
hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think of how different culture changed in the last just 60 years or whatever. I mean, it's not that much in geological time to think about, that they never met each other and they got married.
But they were happy. The most important. Right now, you
They probably
go out
fell
with a
in
girl-
love because they were put in a situation.
Yeah, but right now you go. I mean, he goes out with a girl for a year, 2 year, and then he breaks up. Then he go another one, and always.
Well, at least it's a year now. It was like 10 minutes ago. It was a couple
6
months.
months,
No.
7 months. No, I seen you with beautiful girls.
How is your relationship status that you're gonna call me out?
Well, he likes the Asian babes. He's got the
I
yellow
do.
fever.
Jewish Asian.
Jewish Asian.
sounds
Yeah.
delicious.
She's
It
Jewish,
is.
Mika?
Yeah, Mika, she's.
It's called Jusian, like fusion.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was Jewish.
She
Did
converted.
she converted for you?
Yeah.
Get out. Motherfucker.
Yes. But since we've been doing services in here, 7 of our employees actually they converted. 7
Really?
of our
Instead of-
employees in here converted.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because they realize how good people we are. And they are not like you. That I'm going on the stage, say I can't say Jew without saying bastard. That's wrong thing to
It's a joke,
message.
Jamie.
Huh?
It's a joke.
Yeah, but you telling the wrong, long
But
message.
don't I bust every ethnic and racial group?
Yes, you do.
Well,
Yes, you
it's
do.
kind of like
Yes, you do.
Jeff.
Equal opportunity offenders, right?
Jeff
That's
does the
right.
same thing. What is it?
I got to go across streets. Somebody
Choi
is across
X.
streets.
Choi is across. Who's Choi?
Or Chewy across street.
Who's
Okay.
Chewy?
The guys are got to go across street because of what's the name of it? The Chelsea. The little midget from.
Chelsea lately?
Yeah. Stop saying midget. What's wrong with you?
You said it.
I did, or he said it.
He's arguing. He's the only one I know that argues with himself.
Figure out why you just stopped our show to tell us Chewy's across the street.
No, because I had.
Gotta
What
figure
the hell
out.
kind of show is that?
No, excuse me. Because you were late, I'm supposed to go there. I have another appointment, and I'm going to go across street. So, if you don't mind, my boss give me $5.
Hang out for a few more minutes. Where's
He-
Chewy going with his little legs? He's not in a rush.
Look at
Thanks,
this.
Jamie. Pushy, huh?
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye, Jamie.
Jeff, in show business, what's your favorite thing to do?
Podcasts.
Good answer. Can you say that? Can you say that into the camera? Now, what's your favorite thing, really? What do you like the most? Is it stand-up? Is it roast? Is it acting? Is it busting?
Writing.
Writing?
Yeah. Coming up with the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Writing with other people.
See, writing to me is the hardest part of our part of the business. Because there's no... I mean, have you ever written on a sitcom?
Yeah.
What? Which one?
I wrote on Julia Louis-Dreyfus had a show I wrote on, and I wrote a little
That's
bit of
right.
Drew Carey.
For Drew Carey?
Yeah. And I did a sort of a 2-day-a-week gig there.
Punching up.
Yeah, I was learning.
Yeah, I think I could punch up. I don't think I could outline. You know, the stories, the outline of the stories, and the A, B, C. Like what Larry David did was unbelievable.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a big puzzle, and it has to be original. And
Well, I
It
mean,
has
the
to
blow.
work.
One of the things that blew me away. Remember that one Seinfeld episode where Kramer hit the ball, the golf ball, and it blew into the blowhole of a whale, and Jason Alexander lied about being a marine biologist. Remember that one?
I don't remember that.
Oh, well, then they're walking down the beach, and the whale
Sounds funny though.
whale's getting beached, and they holler out, "Is there a marine biologist here?" Like as if you've heard that before on the beach. And Jason, gets caught lying. But anyway, the complexity of those plots is amazing to me. You know.
That show, he did it on that show, and he does it on
Yeah.
Curb. Just the stories are, even the way you tell the stories are funny.
Woody Allen was always my favorite, but I'd have to say Larry is the number one writer of our generation for comedy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's only a couple people like him. Maybe I really like Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you've seen Book of Mormon.
I heard it was great.
It's pretty.
Well, who is the guy who does Family Guy?
Seth MacFarlane.
He's
that
brilliant.
movie was hilarious.
Which one?
Ted.
Oh, I heard it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goddaughter
He
went to
wrote
see
and
it
directed
twice.
that.
Did he? Yeah. See, that's because I guess whatever it is that you can't do is what seems like the hardest thing.
I saw an episode of Family Guy the other night. I was just laughing out loud. When you think you've heard every joke,
Oh yeah.
you're just
yeah.
like, oh my god, how did
That's
they
brilliant. How big's their staff?
think? I don't know.
Have you ever worked on Simpsons?
I've never been on The Simpsons. I've
Yeah,
done
me
voices
neither.
on Family Guy twice, and
Oh, you been on it, or you
yeah.
wrote for it?
No, I wrote. I was a guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That must have been fun.
it was really fun.
Where do they record?
Right there by the La Brea Tar Pits.
Do they really?
They have an office over there.
That's funny. I've done a few cartoons. Nothing as adult as that. I did Hey Arnold. Do you remember Hey Arnold?
I remember that.
I was Ernie in Hey Arnold, and I was in Hercules, the movie, a couple of them, and also Barnyard. Have you ever done a series?
I did an animated series. I did 8 episodes.
What was it?
It was called Where My Dog's At. I wrote it with a buddy named Aaron Lee,
Uh-huh.
who wrote on some of those Seth MacFarlane shows. And we did 8 episodes. Me and Tracy Morgan played stray dogs,
Oh, really?
wandering around Hollywood roasting celebrities.
You were roasting on a
It
cartoon?
was great. I was a beagle and he was a bulldog.
He's funny, isn't he?
Yeah. I was a beagle named Buddy.
What happened to it? Just didn't get picked up?
We did 8 episodes. It was on
Yeah.
MTV, and we pissed off so many parents. It was so raw.
Really?
They got complaints, and it was out there. It
Was this after Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, this was only about 5 years ago, and we loved doing it. People loved it. We had so many funny people would do celebrity. It was just great. They got adopted by Bobby and Whitney.
Oh, really?
They got won at an auction by Angelina Jolie one episode.
Uh-huh.
It was just fun. Two
Did
dogs.
Did you ever open for a big star? Any of that stuff?
Yeah,
Who?
I did a week in Atlantic City with Steve and Edie when I was
Are you serious?
probably about 97, 98.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine you with them. Were they nice?
They were great.
They seem like such sincere people. I would.
So
I'd be
sweet.
disappointed if you said, "Yeah."
And he's
he's
hilarious.
a prick. Yeah, he is
He was a
funny.
great, sweet guy. I didn't even do that well. I was sort of over my head.
Yeah.
It was a much older
Was it
crowd.
Atlantic City?
Yeah.
That's a tough market if you don't if you're
It
not
was
from
hard.
there. And
And well, I was just too new. I was too
Yeah.
green to really handle what they'd asked me to do, is warm up this Steve and Edie crowd.
that was an old crowd then.
And but regardless of how I did, which was hot and cold, Steve would always be in the wings just dying laughing.
Oh, good.
And he'd always come out and, top off a couple of my jokes during his set
Uh-huh.
and made me feel like part of the family. And they treated me well. It was great. It was great. And I'd always exit to her side, and she'd just grab me by the hand and say, how's the crowd? How's the crowd? She was sweet.
I opened for Copperfield once.
That must have
funny.
been cool.
It was very interesting. First of all, do you remember that bit I used to have about Tu pinche loaf, tu capesquato?
Yeah.
All right, so he loved that bit, and he had like little kids in his audience. I look out and I see like balloons, like 5-year-olds, literally, And he said, "Oh, you're gonna do the poop pee thing?" I said, "I wasn't planning on it. There's kids here." He goes, "Oh, please, that's what I wanted you here." So I'm up there going to hide the salami, to bury the bone. And these kids are looking at me like they don't know what the fuck I'm saying, you know. But that was, I mean, he was cool. He would say stuff. He's always working. He'd go, "What would you rather see, the Orient Express disappear, or the Statue of Liberty disappear?" And I go, "Can I get back to you on this?" Because these are questions I ask myself so much.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I went to see a show with my nephews in Las Vegas. They loved it. I loved it.
Jeff and I were lucky enough to have met all the like a lot of the older comedians, kind of like in some of their last years when we were doing those roasts back at the Friars Club.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just cool, like working with Red Buttons and Burl and all. You met all those guys.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
I miss Red. I just saw Sid Caesar.
Oh yeah, how's he doing?
His 90th birthday.
Really?
He's hanging in there.
I know his back has been bad, but that's from all those crazy stunts he did in the old days.
He's he still has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I
He's
love that
really
guy.
sweet. He just turned 90 a couple weeks ago.
I did a tribute for him, and I was so glad that they asked me to do a tribute instead of a roast, because I really didn't want to roast him.
Right.
I did a tribute to him and to Mel Torme, and because we roasted Jack Palance one night.
Right.
Remember when they weren't big enough to have the big room, and we'd roast them at the club, and Jack Palance got mad. You know, it's like you don't want a guy you're gonna roast that gets mad. What the
Right.
fuck? It's a roast.
Right. No, you
Yeah.
gotta have a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Remember John Francis? He used
Still
to
owes me about 300
He used to
bucks.
pocket. That's exactly what I was going to say. He used to pocket some of our money. That was fun. What was your favorite roast? Do you remember?
Sometimes I think back, roasting Joe Torre was really fun.
I didn't do the Tory one. Did you do Lasorda?
I didn't do Lasorda. Lasorda was at the Joe Torre roast.
Uh huh.
I said I haven't seen this many Italians behind a microphone since the Valachi hearings.
Yeah, I did Lasorda.
But seriously, who knows more about baseball bats than the Italian people? It was Joe Torre, Frank Torre, Tommy Lasorda. They were laughing. It was great. I miss that old Friars Club.
Yeah, that was a cool moment in our lives. I think that one of my favorite ones was Mickey Rooney roast. I can't remember which ones we were on together.
I was there.
You were there? Were you roasting or,
Yeah.
or on the yeah.
Yeah.
So did you do any that you hated? The one I didn't like was Jerry Springer's. Only because what the fuck are you gonna say that's gonna offend Jerry Springer?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And then he actually did get offended at me once
Springer?
at a different roast.
Did you do the Burt Reynolds one?
No.
Burt Reynolds got mad at Brad Garrett, right?
Why?
Because he was big and Reynolds is a macho guy, and like I did something about fucking Lonnie Anderson right in front of them, and they're crying, laughing, and they didn't take offense to it at all. And Brad just did some innocuous, generic kind of thing about his hair, you know, because he had that weave or whatever. And Burt Reynolds turns to him, he goes, "Hey, big guy, you want to try and take it off? It doesn't come off. You want to try and take it off?" And I'm sitting next to, I'm in between Mar and Brad. And Brad said, "What should I do?" I said, "Well, what are you going to do? You sit here. What are you going to do? Go fight Burt Reynolds at his roast?" You know? It was like so awkward.
Weird.
Yeah, that a guy would take it that
People
seriously.
get very tense at those roasts. A lot
Well,
of pressure, and
Yeah.
they take the jokes personally, and you want to, if you're performing, there's a lot of pressure on you. So
Now, do you enjoy the Comedy Central roast as much, more, or is it just different?
just different. I like them all.
Yeah.
I always say I love. They say who's your favorite. I always say whoever's next. Because like I said, I love the writing and putting it together. And
Yeah.
the process is really fun, especially if they announce a big celebrity, then everybody starts trying to give me jokes and tell me what to, rooting me on. It's like a boxer,
Yeah.
like get him, like
Right,
give it to
right.
Charlie Sheen, he deserves it. You
Yeah.
start to become it's like an event. It's like a fight, a prize fight.
Do people think that you're like that in real life?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Because I've had people say to me, "Boy, you're nothing like you're on stage." I go, "I hope not. I get my fucking ass kicked."
Right.
Imagine if you were like you were, but you're at a bar with a bunch of people. You just start roasting them. It's like, holy, who's this?
People ask me to make fun of them all the time, and I'm like,
No.
you don't want me to do that.
No, you don't want me to do it. I'm a professional.
Plus, it's like Sometimes it comes in handy because I can just dismiss somebody with a joke and they go away.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, he roasted me.
Right, right. I hate when people do my act to me. Like I'm supposed to laugh at my own act.
Right.
Go, oh, that's a good one. Do
Right.
that again.
That's brutal.
I've had people actually say stuff to me that I forgot I did, which I brought back because they said it, or they wrote it better than I wrote it.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
That's annoying.
Yeah,
When they
right.
make it funnier.
Yeah, hey, that was
you
good.
don't even do that
You mind
bit
if I
anymore.
mind if I use that? I had a guy from the New York Times one time. He was reviewing us as young comics in New York, and he rewrote a bit, and it was really well constructed, much better than mine was. And I called him up, and he thought I was going to like lay into him. I said, "Listen, man, that bit." He says, "Listen, well, I said, no, listen, you misquoted me, but it was better than what I said. Can I use it?" He goes, "I'd be honored."
That's
you
so
know?
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. You have a great memory for stories. Like, I go through these roasts and you remember them better than I do. Like, I remember being at the Mickey Rooney roast. I remember being at the Springer roast. But there's something about you where you have, like, a photographic memory, not of the jokes necessarily, but of the moments and the mood.
Yeah, it's weird how the memory is, because, I mean, sometimes I forgot why I walked into a room.
Right.
Yet I can remember every detail from some of those things.
So weird.
Yeah. I do remember John Francis ripping us all off. God rest his soul. Was he Italian?
I don't know.
He
must have
seemed
been,
like
right?
an Italian, didn't he?
Yeah, he must have been.
I don't
yeah.
think Francis was his real name. That's in the days where those regular guys would have stage names. You know what I mean?
Johnny what's your real name? Johnny.
Johnny Paisano Francisco Diablo. Yeah, I went to those things. One time, I was at one with Lisa, my ex-wife, and
Right.
Sophie.
Right.
Remember Soph?
Yeah.
And George Siegel couldn't believe that I had my ex-wife and girlfriend there at the same. He thought it was. He said, "Do you mind if I talk to them?" I go, "No, I don't mind." They're in the back having smokes, and he's asking them about their relationship with me. Like, he couldn't believe
Right.
that they could get along.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah,
You always roll with at least 2-3 chicks, though, Dom. I've seen you in action.
we do well for guys that may not look like Daniel Tosh and Brad Pitt. You always have hot chicks. I like the girl that you had in Atlantic City when we worked Atlantic City that time. She was beautiful. I don't mean to make you feel bad if like I hate when people did that to me about Sophie. You and Sophie broke up? Man, she was fucking smoking. Mind if I get her number? What was the ones? Remember the one who you were with in Atlantic City? What was her name?
Can't remember.
Can't remember. You don't want to say it.
She knows who she is. She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. Is she available? What do? Do you cut off? I have a tough time cutting off from them. I
stay friends with people.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, other than the blonde Kim, I don't want to talk to her ever. She fucked me royally. She fucked me on. She took a loan out.
You were married to her?
No, thank God. I actually wanted to have a kid with her. What a biggest mistake of my life that would have been. Fucking idiot. Sophie used to call her the idiot, which was the most apropos name for her. Anyway, no hard
Sophie's
feelings.
still on your voicemail.
Yeah, on the outgoing literally the voicemail. Yeah, because that's all I have of her. If I let that go, she's gone.
Oh.
No, I still talk to her. I talked to her in Montreal. But it's very interesting. Once she got back in that French culture, her kids can't even speak English. She really went into it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't crazy about America,
Right.
which didn't help for our relationship.
Right.
When you hate my country, you're living in it.
But you love Canada?
I love Canada, but they don't care. It doesn't always reciprocate. What do they call it? Canada, America's hat? She would hate when I would provoke her by saying, "Do you think they'd be there if it wasn't for us? Fucking Russia would have taken them 100 years ago."
It's probably true.
Yeah, of course. What are you up to now, Jeff?
Got a little break. Just wrap my show, The Burn. Going to take a little time and haven't had a vacation or just from thinking of jokes.
That's why I was surprised you took the Australian gig, because you were telling me how tired you were, but it was
Right.
just like, I think you did the right thing by taking
I'm
it.
excited. We'll get to work together again.
Yeah.
And, that'll be fun.
We're working at the Sydney Opera House. Who would have thought two fucking mooks like us? That's pretty cool.
So what is it like there? Will you give me some advice?
Well, you're going to go early, right?
I'm going to go a couple days early.
Yeah. I mean, you like wine?
Sure.
Yeah, I would, take. You said you're going with a friend, right?
Yeah.
Rent a car and take it out to the wine country. And be careful because it's the other side of the road, the driving. But go out to like one of the vineyards. Go out to McLaren Vale, or I forget. No, we're in Sydney. I don't know the vineyards from there. But there's always something, and it's just beautiful. You can go, like feed kangaroos.
That sounds
and-
cool.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the beaches are incredible.
How are the crowds?
Great. They're happy.
How many times you been there?
I don't know, 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah. I've been to New Zealand a couple times,
Did
too.
you do the comedy festival last year?
I did festivals. I did TV there. There was one
You
time
been
I
to the
went.
Sydney Opera House?
No, I never worked Sydney Opera House. I've only worked in Sydney twice. I
I can't wait to tweet that I'm going to be at the Sydney Opera House. How cool
I
is
know.
that?
I know. I'm doing Jimmy Fallon, and I want to use that as one of the
You
credits.
got to.
Because me, I do mostly opera houses. I don't do clubs that much. I do opera houses.
After that, I'll be at the Bananas Opera House. You should have your website, every club called Opera House after that. But have Sydney be the real one. That's so funny.
Mr. Magooby's Opera House. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm telling you, did you get the business class?
Yeah.
All right, because you have to. You have to get at least business. First is better, but business is really fun. It's better than any domestic flight we have.
Right.
You got it for that fucking flight. It's a long. You got to get in a different head. You got to get in a Zen head. This is a whole. You can't think of it because it's basically a day that you're
Right.
spending on a plane.
Right.
But it is cool
It's a
to.
little scary.
If you think about it, everything's scary. I mean, flying to Hawaii. Do you know between L.A. and Hawaii, or California and Hawaii, is the longest flight in the world that's just over water, that there's no place to land? So you think about that on your next Hawaiian vacation. Like, there's no islands. At least when you're going from here, once you get to a certain point in the Pacific, there's islands you can land on. Not between here and
Oh, I'm going to get a stomach ache thinking about it.
oh. I was in such bad turbulence. Ooh.
Oh, come on. If you do
No,
this, I'm not going to go.
Listen, I was in such bad
If you do
turbulence.
this, I'm going to get too scared.
They had to stop the flight in Fiji to refuel because the headwinds were so strong. And I was looking at the map.
Forget it, I'm not going.
Listen, I was looking at the map and I was going, holy shit, we're in the middle of the fucking Pacific, But you can look at this planet and go, we're in the middle of the universe,
Oy vey, forget
and
it.
we're
I'm
spinning.
too scared now.
I terrified Jeff
Scared
Frost.
the shit out of me.
What did I say?
Turbulence, nowhere to land. I know all these things.
Just between us is a couple of feet of
I'm
like
not going. If you keep
aluminum.
this, I'm seriously not going to go. I
Aluminum.
won't be able to handle it.
Yes, you
And yet
will.
you told me to sit next to you. I'd have to hear this for 16 hours about it.
You know
there's
how
nowhere to land.
Listen, 37,000 feet.
Get me a window seat.
You know how long it
in
would
the
take
back.
for us to crash? at this
Stop,
height?
Dom. I seriously won't go. I seriously won't go. I'll be too
Hey,
scared.
then I can host an Nancy show. Again.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't want to host it. That's fine. Oh, you'll be great. But can we work on my intro?
Yeah.
Can you say funny guy? I like the second funny punched up. Didn't you always think
Here's a
like,
funny guy, Dom Irrera.
good friend?
Good friend. Funny
Works
guy.
all the major Bananas opera houses. You may have seen him.
You may have seen him at the Laugh Factory Opera House.
Thanks for being on, man.
This was cool.
Yeah, I love it. Come back again, and I'll see you in Australia. I'll see you before
I'll
that.
see you before that.
All right, brother.
Love you, buddy.
Love
Thank
you too. Thanks, man. Jeff Ross.
If she had only been ugly.